few months ago on this channel, I posted a video all about the pentatonic scale for beginners. And the response was really great. But a few of you responded with a very good question. That being, now that I have this scale under my fingers, how do I use it? Well, fear not, friends and neighbors. I got you. Friends and neighbors, welcome back to the Brownstone. My name is Rich Brown. Thank you for tuning in, visiting me once again. And in today's video, I've got 3 pentatonic licks that will accelerate your playing. If you're a beginner, you're going to love this. If you're an intermediate player, you're going to love this. There's something for everyone in here. Now, I say 3 licks, but really, it's like 6. But let's get right into it. Today we're going to be dealing with the A minor pentatonic and the A major pentatonic. The reason why is because we've got 2 distinct patterns that we're working with, right? With the A minor pentatonic, I've got A to C, D, E, G, and then up to A again. And then I can even play the C and the D at the 5th and 7th fret of the G string. That is one of the scales that we'll be working with, the minor pentatonic. But we'll also be working with the major pentatonic. So here I've got the root, the 2nd, the major 3rd, the 5th, the 6th. There's the root again, and there's the 2nd and the 3rd again. What are those notes? I've got A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, A again, and then B and C sharp. So those are my 2 scales. That's A major pentatonic, and this is A minor pentatonic. So now that we have these 2 scales under our fingers, the first lick is just those 2 scales. Nothing fancy, right? Keeping it simple. I've got the Beat Buddy set to 80 BPM. It's going to be a little funk swing jam. So I'm just going to play the ascending and descending A minor pentatonic scale in 1/8 notes. That's it. That's the lick. And in fact, if I play it ascending, that's 1 lick. And if I play it descending, that's a 2nd lick, right? 2 for the price of none. Let's check this out. So that's it. That's the A minor pentatonic, played in 1/8 notes and played in 16th notes, descending and ascending on the scale. Very simple and very cool. It sounds great. Now here's the thing. The pattern that I have for the A minor pentatonic scale, volume, and then the pattern that I have for the A major, those 2 scales have the same number of notes. So what I can do is play that lick over again and then just apply it to the major scale, right? That will sound like this. that's it. That's the same lick we played on the minor, and we just applied it to the major shape. Very simple. We played it in eighth notes and we played it in 16th notes, and all of a sudden that one lick has 3 variations. Actually more than that, because we played it ascending and descending. So there, you get a plethora of vocabulary in one shape. And then once we apply that to the major and the minor, we have even more that we can work with. So here's the second lick. What this is basically an exercise that I give to my students whenever we're working on the pentatonic scale. And that is to take a 4-note pattern starting from each degree of the scale. This is going to be a little tricky for the beginners because it might go by a bit fast, but take it at a nice slow tempo. Again, I've got my Beat Buddy set to 80 BPM, which is kind of slow, but some of you might need to take it a little bit slower. And that's okay. You can work your way up to whatever tempo you desire with a little bit of work. So if I take my shape for the A minor pentatonic scale and play a 4-note pattern ascending from each degree of the scale, this is what I get. So I have to keep track of the notes, right? There are 5 notes in the pentatonic scale, so I'll keep track, and I'll go for the first note and play 4 notes. And then I go back to the second note of the scale and play 4 notes. Third note of the scale, 4 notes. Fourth note of the scale, 4 notes. And I can end right there. So what does that sound like in context? I will show you. So you can see there, all I did was I took that shape of A minor pentatonic and started a 4-note pattern from each degree of the scale from the bottom note, and then descending from the top note, in this case the 7th fret of the G string, which is the note D. So when I come down, I just think about where I am in the scale and play 4 notes from that point, right? So if I'm coming down the scale, I play the top note, 4 notes. And then I go back 1 note from where I started, play the next set of 4 notes. Back from there, and I keep going down 1 note from where I start until I get to the beginning of the scale. So you probably know what the next lick is going to be. Yes, indeed. All we're going to do is we're going to take that same 4-note pattern and apply it to the A major pentatonic scale, right? So that's A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, A, B, C sharp. Or 5th fret, 7th fret of the E, and then 4th to 7th on the next 2 strings, the A and the D, and then 4th to 6th frets on the G string. That's my pattern. So now, what would it sound like if we applied the 4-note pattern to this shape? Let's check it out. So that's that. You saw how we did that, right? We took a 4-note pattern ascending, starting from the first note, or the root note of the scale. And then we took that same 4-note pattern descending from the top note of the scale, in this case the C sharp, at the 6th fret of the G string, and then just played 4 notes descending from each degree. And that's that. So I'm going to leave you with one more thing, and this is going to be an actual lick. The cool thing about this lick is that it works for A minor, and it also works for C major, right? I'll show you what I mean. This is one lick that's very simple and very cool, and it incorporates a note that is not necessarily a part of the pentatonic scale. It's going to be the flat 5, right? If I play the root, the minor 3rd, so I'm on the A minor pentatonic scale. Root, minor 3rd, C, the D at the 5th fret of the A string, and then I play a D sharp, E flat. Up to the 5th, the minor 7th, which is a G, and then I'm back to A. So what I get is what's known as the blues scale. Right? Very cool little pattern. But here's what I do. With this lick, I'm playing from that flat 5, and I do a little hammer on, and then I play the flat 7th to the octave, or the 5th and 7th fret of the D string. So hammer on from 6 to 7 on the A string, and then play 5th fret to the 7th fret, G to A, on the D string. And then I go back to that 6th fret, right? That flat 5, and then slide back to the 5th fret. So what I have so far is this. Right? Hammer on from 6 to 7 on the A string, and then play 5 to 7 on the D string. So that's D sharp to E, and then G to A on the D string. And then I play right on that flat 5 again, that D sharp, and slide back to D. And then I finish the lick simply by playing C, A, G, and then back to A, which leads me to the root note. So those last 3 notes, C at the 3rd fret of the A, 5th fret of the E, 3rd fret of the E, and then I end on the A at the 5th fret of the E. So the whole lick goes like this. Now here's the cool thing. There's a whole theory behind the relationship between A minor and C major. They're essentially 2 versions of the same harmony, right? Even though you hear 2 different chords. But I don't want to get into all that now. I want to keep this short and simple, but that one lick will work over both of those chords, and I'll show you what I mean. Check this out. Kind of cool the way that works, right? Maybe I'll do a separate video on why those 2 harmonies are so related. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. Those are the licks and patterns that I want you to practice and work on to really up your pentatonic game. And my friends, thank you for visiting me here in the Brownstone, and I hope to see you very soon in the next video. Peace.